Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Planet FPL Game Week 2 Deadline stream. And it's live. Hope you're all well. We're just under an hour to the Game Week 2 Deadline live. My name's James, and over the next hour or so, I'll be getting through as many of your questions as possible ahead of Deadline. On the screen, please check graphics before submitting questions, and we'll go through them in the order they are submitted. Top right hand corner of the screen, you will see my team for this week. Transfer rolled, Mo Salah captain, Danny Ings vice captain. On the bottom right hand side of the screen, you will see my top 10 captaincy picks for the weekend. I do favour Bruno Salah slightly. Mohamed Salah over Bruno Fernandes slightly. You'll also see on there Riyad Mahrez, Sadio Mane, Kevin De Bruyne. I would like to put higher, but too many doubts about whether he's going to play. Mason Greenwood, Danny Ings, Raheem Sterling, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Heung-min Son. Also, you will see on the screen, popping on now, my predictions for the game week. All 10 games predicted to the left-hand side of the screen. And also coming onto your screen now are the benching dilemmas for the game week. I have 25 players there, I think, or 20 players, 21 players. All in order. They are a benching dilemma. That's to help you out with who's going to play and who's not. They are listed in order. There are 5 pages worth. They will change during the stream. And I'm going to help people who ask during the stream. I'm going to say Tony over Rafinha, Rafinha over Benrahma, Benrahma over Barnes, Barnes over Mount, Mount over Shimikas, Shimikas over Shaw, Shaw over Dallas, Dallas over Rudiger, Rudiger over Pereira, Pereira over Dean, Dean over Soufal, Soufal over Ayling, Ayling over Target, Target over Smith Rowe, Smith Rowe over Amati, Amati over White. All those dilemmas are on your screen. If you hear someone ask one of those questions, just tell them to go back and listen to the first fucking minute of the stream. That would be amazing. Do at them on the way, guys. My spanners will be in. Good morning to all of you looking after the stream and keeping an eye on it. And the final page of the benching dilemmas shows goalkeeper dilemmas. I'd go Martinez over Sanchez, Sanchez over Meslier, Meslier over Schmeichel, and Schmeichel over Daniel Backman. Let's get on with the stream. I wish you all the very best of luck for the game week. FPL Team Peter is first, says good luck all this week. Callum Mates is in, says cheers James, best of luck in the game week too. Thanks very much, gents. Edwin Guan says hello James, start Soufal or Ayling. It's on the benching dilemma. Also, penalty shootout soon. Thanks and good luck. Yes, we do need to get that organised, particularly while the weather's half decent. Tom Hyom, one of my spanners, is in. Says, morning, James. As a Brunoer like yourself, would you take one of Barnes or Jota out for Greenwood this week? I'd still have Vardy for the Norwich game. If it leaks that Jota starts, I'll keep. Thanks. So, I'm going to, during the stream, try and keep an eye on Adam Pearce, who's a Liverpool correspondent for The Athletic. He might have some in the know of what's happening. I think it's Adam Pearce, I want to say. Big shout out to Lauren Harris, who sent me this morning the Anfield Watch as predicted team. Now, the Anfield Watch on Twitter has over 600,000 followers. It's a reputable source. It is a predicted team, but their predicted lineup does not have Diogo Jota in it. They're predicting Roberto Firmino to start. It also has Jordan Henderson and Thiago coming in for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and James Milner. They are predicting Shimikas to start again at left back. Now, that is a predicted team. It is not a leaked team. But they know their club better than I do. So there's potential concern there for Diogo Jota owners. I would say, Tom, I'd be tempted if you've got the news to move Jota to Greenwood. If you haven't got the news, I'd stick, personally. Roll it, and I think you can make that move next week. Sean Cadian says, any chance Barnes gets benched? Yes, of course, there's a chance. Phil McMahon, morning James, just want to say this is the best and most informative deadline stream around. I hope you get a decent haul this weekend. Thank you very much, Phil. Garang Barrett says, hi James. Hello Garang GF. Hello James, I'm just wondering how to start. Soufal or Dunk? I have Sanchez in goal. It's a good question. I mean, I'd go Dunk. I'd go to double Brighton. I'd go Lewis Dunk. FPL Irons, hi James. As you've rolled the transfer, do you have a rough idea what move you'll make next week? I'm struggling to find a move currently. Well, as per the podcast we did with Callum Mates when he came on the Tuesday before the season started. I said on that podcast, if I was blessed enough to get to game week 3 and be very happy with my squad, I would go Mo Salah to Bruno Fernandes. And if I come out this week and I don't have any major issues, that's the move I intend to make, to be very honest with you. Antonio, Ings, Harrison, Barnes, Son, all got good fixtures. I can bring Pereira in away to Norwich instead of Shimikas. So I think Salah to Bruno and get that ready to then cover him off as it will definitely be the highest captain in game week 4 if he's fit. Plus there's these doubts. We don't have the information yet that could make Mo Salah a bit of a doubt for game week 4 as well. So that's the intention as it would stand, Luke. But something could easily change. If I get an injury or something, that'll probably change. But if I'm blessed to get through the weekend with no issues, yeah, honestly, I'll go Salah to Bruno next week. Rob Howard said, good luck this week, James, and thanks for all the content. Would you do Barnes to Mahrez for a free transfer? Got 106 this week and no injuries. Personally, honestly, no, I wouldn't. I'd leave it be. I'm not sure why there's suddenly this great concern around Harvey Barnes. Okay, blanked against Wolves. I think it probably lingers from comments from Brendan Rodgers in pre-season that he's not 100% fit. We know that. Brendan Rodgers also said he was superb in the Community Shield. He had a brief spell up front. I think Leicester could play 3-5-2 this week. If they did, I honestly still think Barnes would play. I think he'd play up front with Vardy. So no, Barnes would start for me. I'd just purely look at it and go, it's not a certainty that Mahrez plays. Yes, obviously, you would expect him to go off if he does. But next week, Barnes is at Norwich. Let's have a little think ahead. Vivek Gore says, should I transfer in Tony for Ings? No. Why? Why? Don't get that. Zaris says, good morning, James. If Shimikas doesn't start, my subs are Ayling or Amati. Who do you prefer and why? Ayling. Greetings from sunny Greece. Hope to meet you one day, my friend, to drink Uso. Oh, God, that stuff's fucking terrible, mate. Quite purely, I think there's obviously a strong possibility that Daniel Amati won't play for Leicester. I know Brendan Rodgers was non-committal, but I would be staggered if they didn't play Yannick Vestergaard, considering what a threat West Ham are from set pieces. So if Leicester play a back four, Vestergaard plays, Daniel Amati won't. So by default, has to be Luke Ayling. Prey says, morning James, Pepe, Ayling or Target, who should I start? I'd still go with Pepe, to be honest. Although I'd also consider selling him. I think that's probably the best idea. Is just to sell Nicolas Pepe. Honestly, yeah, I think I'd probably take a hit to move him on. And there's a number of players you can consider. Timing is good for the Leeds boys now. Rafinha or Harrison. Ben Rama's obviously popular. Harvey Barnes. Mason Greenwood. I would genuinely, that's the answer, praise. I would sell Nicolas Pepe even if it's for a -4. Garang says, hi James, is Reguilon nailed? How many clean sheets and assists would he get if bailed? You mean nailed, obviously. Well, look, is he nailed to play 38 games this season? No. Is he definitely first choice as it stands? Yes. How many clean sheets and assists will he get? He'll get about 5 assists and he'll get about 11 clean sheets. That good enough for you? Listen, you don't have to make the decision on the player for 38 games. You're going to have a wild card at some point, so stop thinking whole season at this stage. If you intend to wild card early, you only need to think short term. And Tottenham's next 3 fixtures are good. Andrew Jarvis says, morning James, hope you're well. Best of luck for the game week. Any chance for Son Hall this week? There's a chance for Sonny Hall any week, my friend. Jay said, is Vestergaard a good punt to have? As I said, I'd be staggered if he doesn't play, but wouldn't be on my radar to buy right now. That's obviously said with me having Ricardo Pereira in my team, which I'm not happy about leaving on the bench, but that was the plan pre-game week 1, so I'm sticking to it. I don't hate it, but what if we're wrong and he doesn't start? That's going to feel disappointing, isn't it? Why not Big Sleep? What do you think are Sterling's chances to be deployed as a false 9? I would have said unlikely, but possible. Downstairs says, morning legend, had always planned to ditch Jota for Grealish, Torres, Gundogan for this week as a 1-week punt. Do you think I should do that or roll? Cheers. If that was your plan, I think you should stick with it, Dan. Don't be swayed. What's made you change your mind? I think of those, I'd be staggered if Jack Grealish didn't start. Purely on the basis that He played at Tottenham last week. They've spent 100 million on him. It's first home game. He's going to play, isn't he? So if you need something Manchester City for today, I think his positioning last week would perhaps be a little bit alarming in terms of what you'd expect. But Jack Grealish, it's almost certain to play, isn't he? Lee Jackson says, hey man, any chance of a head-to-head Planet FPL League? Lee, be careful. Although you're a correspondent, doesn't mean you can't get muted. Vivek Gore says, whom to play between Soufal and Dyer? Soufal, mate. Mike H. James, cracking content, mate. Love it. How essential? Nothing. Nothing. He's making a move for Son next game week. Everyone seems to be moving that way. Wait and see performance this game week is key. Some of us have had him since the start and weren't bothered about playing Manchester City. Anyway, nothing's essential, Mike. Nothing's essential. Look, he's got Watford and Palace in the next two after Wolves. They do look attractive, but we don't quite know where we're at in terms of Kane signing a striker. I suspect neither are going to happen by the time we play Watford. I think if Kane goes, it will be after Watford. I don't think he'll play against Watford. Nothing's essential in this game, Mike. It's a dead word. It's a fucking nonsense. I got 102 points last week without Bruno Fernandes. The word essential is a nonsense. If I had Bruno instead of Salah, I would have scored even more points. There is no such thing in this game. Wrong stream if you're looking for essentials, mate. Mark Casserly says, hi, what you think of this team? Mark, thanks. I'm not reading out a team. I really can't be bothered, mate. I wish you luck. Antonino says, what's your reasoning for Salah being higher than Bruno on captaincy list out of interest? I know it is very, very close, just intrigued. Quite simple logic behind it. Home game. And that's it. I think Bruno's a better choice. I don't think he'll match last week's haul, but you're more confident of him doing well this week than I think you were last week, because Southampton are leaky as. But I think there's an element of that. There is a little bit of the unknown in the sense of, we saw it last week. Home atmosphere is big. That's going to be the same this week. It's the first home game for Southampton. The fans are going to be up for it. There is no doubt the fans are going to be up for it at Anfield. It's not going to be a mundane lunchtime kickoff where the crowd are quiet at Anfield. They're going to be so up for it today. Liverpool social media have been doing overtime this week to emphasise the power of the atmosphere at Anfield. So that's why. It's as simple as that. I would not be surprised in the slightest if Bruno Fernandes outscores Mo Salah this week. As you said, it really is close. That's why my slight favouritism is with Salah. His historical record against Burnley is not great. His historical record in home games against bottom half teams is extremely good. Roseanne Fleur says, is Manuel Dennis the cheat code in FPL at 5.1? No, Roseanne, first thing, you were lucky not to get muted yesterday. I understand you've probably got multiple accounts, but I'll give you a second chance. He's doubtful for this week as far as I'm aware, so he might be, he's not yet. Isan says, which players are you most afraid to hurt your rank this week? Not afraid, but obviously Bruno Fernandes goes without saying, right? There's no point lying about it. Is that Farhan? Hi, James. Transfer Jota out for Greenwood or keep Jota? Felt better to keep two free transfer, but really tempted to switch. I'd keep it. Unless we've got the information. Patrons, if you're listening, if we get something, please pop it in the Liverpool Slack channel and I will check that in 10 minutes and 5 minutes before the deadline. But I'd keep it because Jota's rotation risk this week could easily be Mason Greenwood's rotation risk next week. So I think at the moment, stick. The power of two free transfers next week could be good. David Bell says, bit late to the party, but just want to say thanks for the correspondent content creator pre-season. Brilliant insights. Appreciate that, David. Thank you very much. A lot of that stuff is still worth going back and listening to. Reese Kemp says, what is your favourite snack while you watch a game? Don't eat while I watch a game, mate. That's a complete no-no. No. I genuinely, I could not eat while I was watching a game of football. That's a no-no. FPL Finding Glory. Actually, there's a lie. I'm thinking that with a Tottenham head on. Something to eat while I'm watching another game. A pizza. It's not really a snack, is it? I don't tend to eat while football's on. I'm paying attention on what's happening, though. That's the honest truth. FPL Finding Glory. Morning. Love all the content so far. Holding my transfers. Holding my Bruno nerve for one more week. Good luck. Abbas says, Barnes to Mora. No. Let's be sensible. Tom Ali says, what's your thinking for Rafinha over Barnes given West Ham's pretty bad defence? See, alternative thinking. Very close. Just quite purely, I think Leeds will score more than Leicester. I'm predicting Leeds to get 3 goals and Leicester to get 1. You can see all my predictions for the games on the left-hand side of the screen. So it's quite simplistic, really. Pavanar says, Barnes to Son without a hit. That's a tempter. That's a tempter. I'm going to say yes. Yeah, I mean, look, Sonny, I've spoken about so much pre-season. Yeah, I would do it. I would do it. Colin Con, UBD had Ayling over Smith Mould, but your results for the games, Ayling 1 point and Smith Rowe 2. See, not necessarily Colin Con, because Luke Ayling could get an attacking return out of those 3 goals, couldn't he? Juck says, good morning, James. My midfield is Salah, Son, Gundogan, Greenwood and Barnes. Should I stick with Gundogan? Should I stick out Barnes for another? Maybe Ben Rama? Yeah, sit on it, mate. There's going to be a lot of advising role in transfers. Exactly what I said on my Ask James stream yesterday. You didn't get Gundogan expecting a haul at Tottenham and then selling him before Norwich at home. Now he's confirmed fit. Nah, stick, mate. Surely that was part of your thinking. I want a Man City player versus Norwich. I have none this week. I could get killed, right? No, you keep Gundogan. Sean says, cheers, James. Would you do Barnes to Zaha? No. No. I mean, Palace have a good fixture this week, but the rest is rough up to game week 11, mate. Tom Alley, hi James, just wondering, start Tierney or Soufal? That's an easy one, that's Soufal. FPL telling Josh, morning James, good luck in Green Arrows game week 2, mate. Hoping for another cracking weekend of footy like last weekend. Me too, mate. Birth Media. I think it's James Pearce, James. Thank you, you are correct. It is James Pearce, not Adam Pearce. I will keep an eye on James Pearce's tweets. Let me get his Twitter handle up now while I remember. Because he'll certainly be at the ground, so he might get something that we're not expecting. He might have a leak on who's doing pitch side interviews or something like that. So I'll keep an eye on his tweets. Kevin Aspland, good morning from Finland. Good morning. Target is the only problem in my team, and I'm considering your boy Reggie for him. What do you say? Keep for 1 more week or go for the swap? I say keep for at least 2 more weeks, mate. I think Matt Target will play again, personally. He played in the behind closed doors match at Liverpool the day after the game at Watford. Dean Smith spoke in his press comments, said he performed much better. So I think Target will play again. I think they're attacking issues at the moment. Leon Bailey not ready to start. Ollie Watkins ruled out again, obviously. Means that there's every chance Villa will be the same team, I think. Chris Farr, he said, what's your reasoning behind Dean ahead of Soufal? Potential for attacking returns. That's it. I think both concede. Everton scored twice. West Ham scored once. Also, I think in the case of Luca Dean, he's 5.5 million. And you didn't buy him and put him in your team to suddenly be scared of playing Leeds. Leeds aren't the best at set pieces. Dean will take a few. They're missing Llorente. I think Everton can score goals today as well. So that's the reasoning behind it. Thomas says, hello from Australia. Quick question. With 0.5 million in the bank, I'm considering moving from Barnes to Greenwood. Thoughts? It's going to be stick. Honestly, it's going to be so much of that. I'm going to save a role for people. Chris Jargo, don't ask, man, but I'm on a -4 with 3.5 million in the bank and have Mahrez, no Bruno. Would you take the knock? As I told you on Slack, Chris, no. Sam Streak, hi James, good luck this week. Sorry if it's been asked already, but would you bank a transfer and keep faith in Target or transfer him out? It's just covered, keep. Thank you, Joe Finley Badder. Avish D said, would you bench Tony or Chilwell? Chilwell all day long. Listen, for those who are new to these streams, I had someone tweet me last night as well. Anybody's ever asking me, likes of Tony, Callum Wilson, Raul Jimenez, these sort of forwards, you are never going to get me say them bench. Honestly. Play them irrespective of opposition, always. Carlos says, hey James, hope you all do well this game week. Random question, what's your weirdest thing a guest has done at your house? A guest? I don't like people much. Not true. A weirdest thing a guest has done at my house? I can't think of anything. I like the question, but I can't think of anything, Carlos. Asked to do a shit as soon as they got there? I don't know. I don't know, mate. I can't think of anything. Maybe I don't have that many weird friends. Alden Bjerk says, try that again. Morning, James. Play Dennis over Smith Rowe, Dunk and Soufal. That's a good question. I'd probably, yes, maybe take the chance on Dennis. I'd go Dunk over Sufal over Smith Rowe. Yeah, Dennis. I'm close between Dennis and Dunk. I think that falls down on what's your expectation in that game. As we said, Dennis is a doubt. I guess if he's fit, he'll play. I'd go Dennis. Tiger's Wayne. Hi, James. Watching from Hawaii. It's 11:30 p.m. Friday here. Love your channel. Hawaii. I bet that's a good place to be. Enjoy, my friend. Universal Aspect. Harvey Barnes or John Stones on the bench. Ooh, jeez. You don't bench Man City defender at home to Norwich, do you? Can't. I don't think. I think you've got to play John Stones. Stian Bosdale, Rudiger or Ayling. It's the attacking threat versus the clean sheet. They're both on, aren't they? I've gone Rudiger over Ayling, mate. I think part of that, obviously, as I've said, I think Everton will score. I actually think Arsenal will probably score as well. But I think, as it stands, Chelsea defender away at Arsenal, again, a little bit like with Luca Dean. Should you fear it? No, I don't think so. Villan says, sell Pepe for Townsend. All the people you can pick to replace Nicolas Pepe in and around 6.5, 7 million, and you want to come up with Andros Townsend. Okay. Swadder, play Tony or Dean. It's going to be Tony. Joey Covers got a midfield of Salah, Bruno, Mane and Benrahma. Give Mane one more week or switch to Son. Not selling Mane before Burnley at home, mate. Come on. Keep. Popola, good morning, James. Hope you're well. FPLD, hi, James. Thoughts on Odegaard rejoining Arsenal? Yep, good signing. He'll need to provide the quality that he showed around about kind of game week 27, 28, 29 last season. And sustain it for 6 to 9 game weeks and so on, rather than just in short bursts. Yes, good signing. I think it's surprising that Arsenal didn't just get the deal done in the first place in the summer. It's a good player. Very interesting FPL price at 5.5 as well. He's obviously unavailable this weekend. Won't play. He's got a visa issue, but will come into contention for game week 3 for the easy fixture away to Manchester City. But yeah, good signing. Good player. Keep it halal. Trossard to Ferran Torres or roll a free transfer. Leandro Trossard. Bloody hell. I'd still roll it. I'd keep it. Home to Watford. I'd keep it. Everton afterwards. Brentford after. I'd keep it. This is always the danger going someone like Trossard with Brighton's good fixtures at the start. Coming off won't be easy. Honestly, I would not go to Ferran Torres. I wouldn't bother. Could easily not play. Alex Wakeley got a squad selection headache. Benrahma or Barnes to start this week. Not sure whether to double up West Ham with Antonio. I'll go Barnes, mate. Don't worry about the double up. It is a very difficult call. If you check the bench and dilemmas or listen to the first minute of the stream, you'll hear my opinion on that. It is Benrahma over Harvey Barnes. Nathan Ayres, would you bench either Cash or Dunk to field Smith Rowe or Tony? I'd bench both to field Tony. I would go Dunk over Cash, probably, I think. Adam Tessiman, morning James, was locked in with Dean over Ayling, but considering switching now, any thoughts? Yeah, I'd go Dean. I mean, I expect Leeds to win today, but what did you all get Luca Dean in for? I said it's not to be worried about playing Leeds away. He's going to be on the set pieces, and Leeds aren't great at them without Llorente. So Dean plays for me. Therese Keys says, hi James, good luck this week. Godfrey on Mina, which one better option? Well, this week, neither. If you're looking to buy, I presume you haven't got both in your squad. Obviously, Holgate and Keane both played against Southampton. The suggestion from Rafa Benitez in his press conference was, other than Moise Keane, those were unavailable last week, probably won't be back this week. So it's not an option to buy. So if you're looking to buy one, it's a roll transfer and assess that next week. I would have said between the two of them, Godfrey, because Mina's a bit more injury prone. Shub says, Ings or Tony just for this week? Danny Ings. FPL Pepsi tempted to do Pepe to Gundogan instead of rolling the transfer. Yeah, Pepe's one that's a bin, right? You've got Chelsea and Man City in the next two. Yeah, that's okay. Papula, please help James. Rafinha or Benrahma for Mahrez. Top content as always. Well, as an Antonio owner, and looking ahead to Leeds' run from game week 5, I'd probably go Rafinha. But then Benrahma has got Leicester at home this week and then 2 very good fixtures before they've got a more difficult run in game week 5. So the advice I would give on that is, if you are very, very happy with the rest of your squad, it is Benrahma for the next 3, then Rafinha. That would be my advice. If you're not happy with the rest of your squad, I would just go Rafinha now. Antonino Gitto, how do you stay so positive and level-headed when Spurs lose? Please teach me your ways. It's very simple, mate. There's not much I haven't seen in the 30 years of going to watch Tottenham. Not much. I've seen the Lucas Moura hat-trick in Amsterdam in the Champions League final. I've seen Tottenham play in the Champions League final, something I never thought was possible. I've seen Tottenham get beat 4-0 at Southampton in the freezing cold. I've seen these things. I've seen us go up to Middlesbrough and get beat. I've gone abroad, seen us get beat. I always think when I go into North London derby, what's the worst thing that will happen? Well, the worst thing that will happen is we'll get beat. And I've seen it before. And we never play Arsenal in game week 38, so it's never 100% defining. And nothing is ever worse than losing to them. So that's how I stay level-headed. I'm not one of these who thinks we're the best team in the world and the worst team in the world. I kind of try and keep a level head about it. I think we might get beat at Wolves tomorrow, but I think it's a really tough game to predict. I also think we can go there and win. So I go into the game knowing that it's a tough game. The atmosphere will be big at Molineux. They put on a show there, the crowd. So I'm prepared to know that it can go wrong tomorrow. And beating Manchester City doesn't mean you're going to beat everyone else. Football doesn't work like that. Berticus says, play Soufal or Cucho? Soufal, my friend. Downstairs, I agree with the earlier commenter. This is by far the best deadline stream. Thank you, Dan. Excellent informative graphics. Your football knowledge is second to none. I take my hat off to you, good sir. Thank you very much. Durgish says, your thoughts on Jota playing time in game week 2. Should I hold or get any other mid? I'd hold. I think he'll play. But as I've said earlier, right at the top of the stream, the Anfield Watch are quite in the know. They have predicted, and it's predicted, that Firmino will come in for Jota. They'll know more about their team than I do. I'd be surprised, personally, if he was left out, having scored last week. But I guess we will find out. We will try and keep an eye on news in the final 10 minutes before the deadline. Personally, if we don't have that news, I would hold. Shadrach says, have Jota and we'll keep him. Cool. Nicola Torco, James, hope you're well. Straight to my question. It's not, just get on with it. What do you make of Target going forward? Game week 2 and 3. Will he even start? And if you knew he would you play him over Harrison? No, Martinez cover. No, I would not play him over Harrison. Do I think he will stay in the team? Yes, this week. Next week might be a bit more difficult to predict. But if he plays well, he'll stay in the team. Yaz1 says, thoughts on Rafinha? Should I start him or have Richarlison, Ings, Antonio front three? If that's your front three, I'd play that front three. And honestly, you'd have to leave Rafinha out, in my opinion. Stephen Sam, Shimikas or Cresswell? There's a gold opportunity to have a Liverpool defender at 4.1 at home to Burnley this week. You play him. This will be the last week of it, but yep, Shimikas. Rob B, no Q, just a comment. I'm on Bruno captain due to the hunger he is showing, having sat on the bench at Euros and the rest he has had. Shots on target like giving away pens and lost two key defenders. Looks so good. Oh, shots on target. Southampton, you mean. Sorry. Sue for Southampton. S-O-U. So you can have that. And you could also say, well, Mo Salah had a rest in the summer. And Burnley notoriously start seasons poorly. They had a bad result last week. Should have won the game by half time. They didn't play well in the second half. Brighton created clear chances in that second half. So it's true for both players. Simple as that. Rhinos leads. Hi James. Reckon Ashley Young worth a 2-game punt could be in front three with Watkins out. It's dangerous. I think yes, probably does play wide midfield again today. Beyond that, we're guessing, aren't we? Excuse me. If you're in a position where you can punt it, I don't mind it. I think you'll feel dirty as soon as you do it, is what I would say. Pedro Gaming 2.0, best 7.5 and below midfielders for the next 7 game weeks. Well, if we're thinking that far ahead, I think we have to put Rafinha and Harrison into the conversation. I think we can put Ben Rama into the conversation. If we're thinking that far ahead, it's difficult to put Greenwood and Jota in there because you have to be watching that week on week. So for me, over the next 7, I would say Rafinha. Thank you, Tom Alley. No problem. Garlic 25. Captain TAA, a bad idea. I have Salah and Bruno. Just wondering your thoughts. Good luck. My thoughts are that you should play the game your way, as everybody should. And if you want to do that, you can do that. And it could return gold. He's on my top 10 for captaincy, but I don't think there's a need to go against, my friend. I would just go with Salah or Bruno. Rui Vicente, my Mahrez and Dean versus your Barnes and Rafinha. That's how close we are as team managers, lol. Well, at least no one's completely copying my team. Why would anybody want to do that? My name is not Andy from Let's Talk FPL. Stephen Hutton, I did want to roll this weekend, but I panicked as I thought White would lose value, so swapped in for Ayling. Hopefully I've got a defence because now Veltman is out. Well, your team's in better shape having Ayling for White. Cole JB, got a corker for you here, James. What would your logic be in picking one of White or Livramento to play this week? My logic would be that I would pick Ben White. And my logic would be that Arsenal in big games last year didn't perform badly defensively. They kept a clean sheet at Chelsea. You can argue a little bit fortuitously as recently as game week 35, I want to say that was. They beat Chelsea home and away last year. And they had players missing, particularly when they played Chelsea at home last year as well, as they will do now. So the logic would be that actually in big games, Arsenal don't do too badly defensively. I think majority of us would expect them to get beat. But that's what I would go Ben White, honestly. I think you're sitting there being hopeful for Livramento to get an attacking return. It would be stunning it would be more stunning if Southampton kept a clean sheet than Arsenal. Let's put it that way. Tom Glover said, "Hi James, I've been locked in for a week, so my question is, if a genie said you could be England's most capped player and top goal scorer, but you had to play your career at Arsenal, would you do it?" Nah, you're okay. I'll do deadline streams. J Lord Broski, en route to Villa Park for my first away game. Toon, Black and White Army. Hearing Wilson might not play, but fingers crossed he plays for us. Good luck on your game week. I'm also Bruno. J Lord, my friend, be careful putting stuff like that in the chat. Because people shit themselves and panic. He's a Newcastle fan, so again, he's 1-0 no more than me, but I've not heard that Callum Wilson rumour myself. Certainly, if it was true, you'd fancy Villa for a clean sheet a lot more. G squad from YT, Buendia or Sarr to start. You're not leaving Buendia out with that fixture, mate. Why did you get him in the first place? Jock says, "Hey again, James, stick with Barnes or replace with Ben Rama, Ferran Torres or Rafinha?" It's a stick for me. As soon as that game reopens and you see Barnes away to Norwich next week, you're going to be quite pleased you've still got him, I think. Lewis Stapleton, can we trust Sujan Shah's leaky defence considering they haven't a clean sheet for 12 matches now? That's not correct, because I believe they kept a clean sheet on the last game of the season against Southampton, I want to say. But it is one in about 14 or 15 or so. It's not good. Can you trust them? No, we've spoken. There's issues. There's issues with West Ham defensively. Khalid, I don't know what that comment's meant to say. Art Vortex, KDB news. The news is, mate, that I'm not ITK. I'm not a Manchester City fan, so I don't have any. The news that we know of is that he had a knock in training this week and he'd be assessed today. So, the last minute decision. There is no news as far as I'm aware. Adsel Balaji, thoughts on what to do if Shaw blanks this week as well. His value will most definitely drop. Would you sell him with 2 free transfers? Nah, Luke Shaw ain't going nowhere to at least after game week 4. It's not a priority, mate. Stop worrying about the value too much. Wolves away, Newcastle at home afterwards. What did we get this player for in the first place? We knew that there was a high probability if Manchester United didn't keep clean sheets, Luke Shaw's value would drop. I ain't selling him with Newcastle at home in game week 4. You're good. And to be honest, I'll need him next week. So, in the case of leaving Shimikas out, to be honest, game week 4, let me just sum it up like this. So, game week 4, I've got 2 Liverpool players at Leeds, where let's presume that by that point Shimikas is out of the team. I've got a Leeds player against Liverpool, and I've got a Leicester player playing Manchester City. I'm absolutely going to need Luke Shaw in game week 4. So, look ahead with your thinking. John Bailey, who are your captains in Sky this week? Very straightforward. Salah today, Bruno Fernandes tomorrow, Mikel Antonio Monday, and they'll be the most popular for the 3 days as well. Get Swifty. Did Vardy to Lukaku? Wish me luck. I do, mate. I don't think Lukaku will start. Jerry Millen, hello from Samui, Thailand. Hello. I enjoy Planet FPL so much. Thank you. Good luck. And to you, Jerry. James Nelson, hi James. Happily rolling this week. Thanks for the great content. Only dilemma, Barnes over Dean Ayling. Presume that would be your choice. You know the answer, James. Yep, that's correct. Thank you, Tom Hyom. Thank you, Roy. Himang Shu Daz, sorry if I mispronounced that. Play 4-4-2 with Webster or 3-5-2 by benching Webster and playing Barnes. Please help, James. We play Harvey Barnes. We're shitting ourselves about. I can't promise you that it'll be in that team, but it's not a player that if he's in, you leave out. Lalu Tree, hi James, what to do with Veltman this game week? Good question. If you've got the cover, leave it. Because this week generally would be amazing if he wasn't back for next week. Otherwise, sell. And you're probably looking at Luke Ayling. If you've already got Luke Ayling, that becomes a little bit more difficult. And that's why ideally you probably want to hold. As long as you've got the bench. Like if you've got Shimikas, great. Shimikas will come out next week. Veltman back in for you. Aaron says, Greenwood in for Mahrez. No, what we said in Mahrez for before Norwich at home. Honestly, you knew the risk. I can't promise you he'll play. But what did you start with him for? Ollie Sad, does Kane play this weekend, James? Absolutely no chance. The Kenneth M, I don't think he'll play for Spurs again. Reality. If he does, I don't think it will be till game week 4. Ollie Sad, the Kenneth M, who would you start at Barnes and Tony? Already starting Ben Rahm and Antonio. I mean, that doesn't make a difference anyway. As I repeated quite near the start of the stream, you will not get me with players like Eve Antonio, Callum Wilson, me ever saying leave them out. Play Eve Antonio. Chris Jargo, sorry for the earlier post, James. Still learning. You're good, my friend. He's recommending Rafinha now. Wise considering the international break. That's a fair point. As I said on my Ask James stream yesterday, I suspect we might get some exemptions. But you do raise a very good point there. So if you're worried about it, safer to go Harrison. The returns will be very similar anyway, I'm sure. Jaganev says, James, worth captain Cancelo. I didn't score big in game week 1. So I'm not sure you want to push against the crowd again and find yourself further behind. It's got to be a no. Could easily be left out. Easily could be left out. I don't think he will be, but no, you don't want to do that. Fly Flintstone, Schmeichel or Sanchez. That's on the benching dilemma screen. It'll be Sanchez. Jonathan, James, should I put 10 quid on Cork or Limerick for the All-Ireland final this weekend? Thanks for all your content, mate. I've got friends in Cork, Jonathan, so Cork for me. Found a edit. Not that I don't have friends in Limerick, I just know I've got friends in Cork. Fowed says, I want to choose 2 from Ings, Jota and Antonio. Pick the front 2, mate. Stuart Bell, I know you won't like it, but I'm bringing in your man Tanganga for Veltman, then saving next week's transfer. Next question. Adam Gearing, Salah's record versus Burnley is 1 goal, 2 assists from 7 Premier League games. Has Dyche got him squared? Armband on Bruno is super tempting now. Yeah, we can read too much into these previous stats. I'd said it earlier about Salah. What about the form of the player? What about the crowd today? Burnley played in that atmosphere before. I suspect not. So it is true. His record against Burnley is not amazing, but Mo Salah any game. It's like next week when he's playing Chelsea with all these benching ads. We can do leave him out against Chelsea. Of course you're not. Isaac says Salah or Bruno captains on the screen, mate. Don't need to give you the giveaway. Thank you, Tom Hyom. Gerald Harley, Sarah Barnes. It's Barnes for me. Thanks again, Tom Hyom. Grang says, can't change the entire time. Can't I change the entire time? I don't understand your point, mate. Cole JB, bollocks. If Wilson is out, then Livramento plays anyway. Well, there you go, mate. Sash JM, what do you think of captain Mahrez instead of Salah? Risky. Fly Flintstone, any player over Calvert-Lewin already have Tony and Antonio? You want to buy a DCL? I don't mind it. Decent fixtures, good run for Everton all the way up to game week 7. I don't mind it. At least we know he's fit now. Rashid Thomas, I can transfer out Greenwood to Son in 1 move. Should I sell or keep Greenwood for 1 more? Keep Greenwood, mate. Don't be selling these players this week. Django Sismon, would you take Target out for Tony or Dallas? Is this to play this week? I'd probably pick Tony and Dallas over Target to play this week, even though I think Target will probably play. Zubin says, hey James, you think Gundogan will start? Yes. Lovely lad, 11235, bench ban Rama or Antonio? You know the answer to that. I mean, really, that's one of my favourite find a different solutions. Look in my eyes, what do you see? You got to bench Ben Rama, mate, unfortunately. Thomas O'Neill, Mahrez, Grealish or Gundogan? What, to leave one out or to buy? If I was buying, I'd buy Mahrez. You punt it, he's the one who could go biggest. Gavin Walsh, great content, James. Thank you, Gavin. Patrick Lawson, nah, Limerick will win. This makes me feel like I'm quite close to the end of the chat, which is unusual. Gavin Walsh, is it worth signing up to Patreon? Nah, don't bother. Of course it is, mate. Of course it is. Listen, if you don't want the extra content, £3 a month, you can buy me a beer for the work I do. Join the Planet FPL Slack community, which is great fun and is like a really nice version of Twitter, with channels dedicated to FPL, to Sky, to Liverpool, to Man United. It's alive day and night. 5 additional podcasts from intermediate tier, additional videos at advanced tier, which includes tactics board coming next Thursday. No, advanced tiers, love the analysis I did of Bruno Fernandes last week. Yeah, join in, mate. Join in. Support the content. Don't do it to become a better FPL manager. Do it because you want to support the effort that we put in. Gary Speak. I have Veltman, Livramento, Ben Mee on the bench. Need to choose one of them as my third defender. Which one, or use transfer, or take it on the chin and move? I'd move Ben Mee. I don't know why I've started with him. Is the honest truth. Burnley's next 5. Liverpool, Leeds, Everton, Arsenal, Leicester. Then it's Norwich. Yay. Then it's Man City away. We've got Chelsea away 3 after that. They've got Tottenham 2 after that. I don't know why I've started with Burnley defender. Move it on. Take it on the chin. Move Ben Mee out. Jan Golombieski. Should I use a transfer this week or not? I'm unsure whether Amati will play. I can't answer that, Jan, because I don't like. What are your options? Amati, I don't think will play. I think he could if Leicester change formation. I feel fairly certain that Yannick Vestergaard will play. But if I say, well, he's 4.0 defender sitting on your bench, are you happy with the rest of your team? I can't really answer that. He says, is Emil Smith Rowe a good differential? Yes, he could be, but it's not what you're buying now, is it? I wouldn't panic to sell, because where are you going at that value? Sideways to Dallas. Odegaard could obviously have an impact on him, not this weekend. But I think Smith Rowe stays in the team. I think what I visualise going forward is Odegaard centre, Smith Rowe left and Saka right. That's what I visualise for Arsenal. Villy says, Buendia to Benrahma. Nah, honestly, keep Buendia. I was very disappointed with him at Watford, but I'd keep. B20, struggling. Rafinha, Benrahma, Shimikas, 2 can only play. Please help. Honestly, I'd leave Shimikas out. Check the benching dilemmas. Thanks, Tom Hyom. Zubin Moidoy. Better pick for this week, Gundogan or Benrahma? Yeah, not leaving Gundogan out. If you're buying and it's 1 week, I think you go Gundogan. Robaldinho 7, bringing Greenwood for Jota. Would probs do it next week? If I do it, I'll roll next week instead of this week. I'd keep unless we get something concrete in the next... We got 17 minutes till deadline, I believe, guys. Make sure you're getting those teams locked in. Django, who do you think would do better this week, Tony or Dallas? I'm going to back the forward, mate. Ahmed Shams says Salah or Fernandes captain. It's a clue on the screen, my friend. Have a look at the pin tweet, then have a look at the screen. Zed says, hi James, how much coffee do you drink before a deadline stream? I've had 1 this morning. The art's not good if I take more than 1. And I don't suppose any of you want me to pop off anytime soon. Dylan Farrell, James, I have Jota, Greenwood and Barnes. Is it worth transferring any out? I know holding 1 or maybe 2 is fine, but is there too much risk involved with all 3 together? I'd be holding, my friend. I'd be holding. I don't see the potential problem in Harvey Barnes this week. I definitely don't see a problem in Mason Greenwood this week. And his only news that I've received this morning makes me think there might be an issue with Jota. I think you're good. I think you're good at the moment, mate. Ice G says, I will captain Grealish. Hanu says, sell Barnes for Grealish. It's a no for me. Jan says, reckon it would hurt me if I do transfer out Bertrand. No, I think that's a good one to move on. We know he's not going to play this week. Luke Thomas, if he performs well again, could keep him out of the team. Castagna could come in at left back. If that happens, Bertrand's going to find it more difficult to get in the team. I would move it on. Patrick Lawson says, is Tony's first name pronounced Ivan or Ivan? The honest answer, Patrick, is I don't know, and I probably say it different every time. Tom Med, if you're listening, teach me. Jeff Holt says, it's better to have friends in Cork than Limerick because it's tough to find things that rhyme with it. But to rhyme with Cork, you have fork, pork and talk. But nothing to rhyme with Limerick, like goal kick. I'm here a week, kids. Akmal Sad says, Benrahma for sure. Okay, great. Jan says, who's a good defender option for 5 million? Reggie. No. Who's a good option? 5 million defender. Leeds coming to thinking. Brighton, Lewis Dunk. That's where I'd probably go with it. If you want to spend the full 5 million. Otherwise, come down to Alien. If you've got the bench cover, Ben White from game week 4. I know people are taking the mickey at the moment, but from game week 4, it will look good again. So it depends on the rest of your makeup squad. Honestly, if you're going defender at £5 million, I would buy Lewis Dunk. That's where I would go with my money. Ollie Sad, Semedo or Pereira, James? Pereira, I think. Semedo obviously didn't play last week. Did have a niggle. Could be back this week. But Bruno Lage gave us no information on injuries. And he said, I'm not going to give you any in his press conference. I don't know if that's allowed. So, I mean, we've got to go Pereira with the knowledge at the moment, haven't we? Bakaya says, Joel Veltman to Robin Koch as Leeds have good fixtures. I think Koch might get left out of the Leeds team today. And I say that because I think Phillips will come back in. And I think it could be Cooper and Strick stay as a centre-back partnership. So there's an element of risk in that. So I don't like that move. Pete Haley says, hi, if you're going for a Leeds 4.5, go Ayling. Don't overthink it, honestly. Pete Haley said, hi, James. Would you go all 4.5 at the back? But mid would be Rafinha, Salah and Buemo, Bruno, Son. And forward is Kane and Tony, thinking of doing this in a few weeks. No. No, I don't think you would. I don't think we did a podcast on Tuesday about the best 4.0 and 4.5 million defenders. And I think the thing that came out of it was there aren't as many good options as we thought there were. So it would be a no. Frank R says, will Matt Target start? Well, I don't know, mate. I don't pick the team, but my instinct would be yes. Chirang says, Ings good as captain. Do you need a question mark after that? I don't mind. He's my vice, but he's not my captain. Stephen Hart and Shimikas Sufal, Dyer, Ayling on my defenders. Who would you leave out? Dyer. It's easy. Thomas O'Neill. Who to play out of Iheanacho, Target, Ben Rama or Reece James? Well, I don't think Iheanacho will start. I don't particularly think Reece James will start either, actually. So I think you leave Reece James out. At the moment, you probably have to leave Iheanacho out. The thing with Iheanacho is as well, he definitely comes on. 100%. Gareth Lazy Grandfather. Should I start Cucho Hernandez over Neil Mope? Please help. That's a no. Ice G, thoughts on Ramsdale price 4.5. Interesting, actually. Should he dislodge Bernd Leno, then very interesting. Particularly for those who are looking to wildcard in either game week 4 or game week 7. If he could dislodge him, brilliant. Thank you very much, Tom Hyom. You're doing some sterling work in there, mate. Jan says Ayling or Dunk for this week. I'd go Dunk, mate. You paid the extra for Lewis Dunk not to leave him out at home to Watford. Jeff Holt, look out for a good week for Gundogan after he's transferred out by so many on a 75% injury risk. I kept him and rolled. It's very true, Jeff. This game does tend to punish. Or Bassi Wife, who I think might be another one of Roseanne Fleur's aliases. Honestly, why are you not suggesting Tottenham defenders like Reguilon to us? They have brilliant fixtures up to wildcard game week 15 except 3 matches. Your thoughts? The reason I'm not doing it is because I care about you. I care about you and your FPL teams, and I generally want them to do quite well. Manchester City at home does not give us the information. Christian Romero at some point is going to come into that team. I don't know at the moment if it's Dyer or Sanchez will get pulled out. I know factually 100% that Tottenham are trying to buy a right back and a centre back before the season starts. And to put you off Reguilon a little bit, Tottenham's only good player on Thursday was Ryan Sessegnon playing at left back, then left wing back, then left midfield. So there is a small rotation risk even for Reguilon. It is not worth paying £5 million for a Tottenham defender at the moment until we know what is happening with that back line. And that's the reason why. Jagamp says, James, thanks for the content. Start Greenwood, Mane, Salah, Mahrez, Benrahma ahead of Tony. I'd go Tony over Benrahma, mate. Villy says, should I transfer Barnes out? And if I transfer him out, who should I change him? Just keep. Let's make this easy. Yango says, would you bench Dallas or Buendia? I'd bench Dallas, mate. Josh Grimmer, why does the Brighton-Watford game have to be the 5:30 game? Because Sky Sports picked it, mate. And it's nice to watch some other teams sometimes. If you're not interested in it, don't watch it. Chris Goodall said, what back five do you predict starting for Chelsea this week? Exactly the same that played against Palace. That would be my prediction. I think it's difficult to do anything different at the moment. Thomas O'Neill says Target or Ben Rama. Ben Rama. Right, we're kind of up to date on the chat. It's 10 minutes to deadline, guys, so fire your last minute questions in. I'm going to check a couple of bits of information briefly just to see if we can try and find any Liverpool information. No news from James Pearce. Nothing there that we can go off. See if my patrons have posted anything in the Liverpool Slack channel. Nothing. There is no news. Patrons, if you're in and you hear anything Liverpool in the next 10 minutes, please throw it into the Liverpool Slack channel on our Patreon, and I'll share it with the guys. But we've got nothing suggested on Liverpool Team Leak at the moment. Callum says Rafinha versus Adama Traore. Your thoughts? Both have good fixtures. They do. Rafinha. It's very straightforward. Adama Traore, absolutely brilliant till he hits the net. And also, they don't both have good fixtures next week. Only Rafinha does. Vikram says Grealish differential captain. It's punty. It's definitely punty. Kieran Thompson, damn, you're at the end of the chat. Wow, rolling this week. Good luck. AK, Cry Brentford 3-0 is your prediction to Palace. Denson, Danny, Lukaku for Antonio this week. As I've said, I don't think Lukaku plays. Cole, thanks for that message. I'm going to ignore that therefore, mate, because I just don't think it's wise to be sharing information that is little more than a rumour. But thank you for that, my friend. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Django first says, would you get rid of Iheanacho? Yes, unfortunately, I think you probably got to. Zambia, Zimbabwe. Hi, James. Sky question here. When Ings over Antonio but have FOMO on Monday night, should I chase the lost points from last weekend or leave it be? As long as you've got other good coverage for Monday night, a Ben Rama, a Harvey Barnes, something similar, I'd leave it be, personally. Because remember, Danny Ings has got a great game week 3 fixture at home to Brentford as well. So I think you've got to leave it be. If you're in a position where, say, you've got Harvey Barnes and suddenly he's not in the team Monday night, then I think you make a move. Shub says, short or target just for this game? Luke Shaw, mate. Norwich Roundup. Thoughts on Ings, Dennis, Tony attack? Okay. If you started with that, then I think that's quite decent, particularly to go with Dennis. He's obviously a little bit of a doubt this week. Sorry, I just saw something in the Liverpool chat, which I'm also not repeating because it's little more than a rumour. But thank you, Stephen O'Brien. Dennis is obviously a doubt, but I think if that's your front three at the moment, you're not doing anything with it this week. Sriran says, morning, sir. Doing the happy dance for game week 2. Popping by to say, keep up the great work. Appreciate that, Sriran. Thanks for your support always. Good luck, mate. And thanks for massively helping us out for the podcast we did in midweek on fan tokens on Patreon. Eamon says, Dean or Tony, mate? Tony. Owen Walsh, check DM, James. Thank you, mate. I will do. It better be good. Okay. Do we believe it? Is the question. Before I say it out loud, do we believe it? Is my question to you, Owen. And you can put that in the chat here. Just yes or no. That will do. Fazli says Salah or Bruno captain. It's on the screen, mate. Soya, Mitchell, Gundogan or Soufal in the plan. You go Gundogan. We can bench Gundogan at home to Norwich. Jordan Harrison. Stoke have made a good start to the season in the Championship. Are you ready for them back in the Premier League? Yeah, I'm ready. I like Stoke. Decent away day as long as you don't spend too much time in Stoke. Denson, Danny, Lukaku or Antonio. First thing. I really fucking disapprove of the capital letter shit because I'll get to your question whether it's in capital letters or not. 2, as I've said, I don't think Lukaku will be rushed into the Chelsea team tomorrow. I might have that wrong, but it's Antonio all day for me. Theodore, thoughts on a Salah to some move next game week if Salah looks set to miss game week 4? You get the thumbs up from me, mate. Kenneth Vaz, who is going to score the 4 goals for Man City you predicted? Walker, Diaz, Stones and Zinchenko. It could be anyone, couldn't it? It's Man City. Zambia, Zimbabwe. Thanks, James. Good luck this weekend. And thanks for the consistent content. No problem. Much appreciated, mate. I'm saying 70%. Right, so there was a picture of a team sheet rumoured to have been found at Anfield. I'm going to tell you now that I don't believe it. That rumoured team does not have Diogo Jota in it. And it does not have Konstantinos Tsimikas in it either. Tsimikas is not on the subs bench either, if that sheet is correct. Take that with a pinch of salt. There is a tweet where someone has said they have found the team sheet in the ground. They are a Liverpool season ticket holder. It's a small account, but they are a Liverpool season ticket holder. It says they found the team sheet in the ground. Firmino is in it instead of Jota. Tsimikas is not in the team, is not even a substitute, so obviously he could have a knock. Check your substitutes bench if you have Tsimikas. I would obviously have Ricardo Pereira coming into the team, so I would not be sitting here shitting myself in any way. I actually wouldn't care less, personally. It would probably put me in a better position than most. But I would take that as a pinch of salt. Do not necessarily believe that that is correct, but there's probably doubt there for Jota owners to make you worried enough. Thanks for sharing that with me, Owen. As we said, look, it's a small account. We shouldn't necessarily believe it. Callum says, please tell me the rumour, it will help. Done it. 3 minutes to deadline, I make it, guys. Maybe 4. Pete Haley, would you take any of the Brentford players for Spurs? Tony? If Kane goes, maybe. Well, we could do worse, right? A few of the new players I want to see more of. I quite liked what I saw on Yeka. They've just bought him. Defence, I quite like Ethan Pinnock at the back. I quite like Rico Henry at left back. Do they honestly get in the Tottenham team? I think probably not. Kai Butterworth, Havertz out for Greenwood. Yeah, you were probably going Havertz as a 1 week punt anyway. Sidoff says, mate, Emil Smith-Rowe or Duffy? Tough. Duffy. EP, just posting here to buy you a few seconds if you run out of messages to read out. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Makes a change, actually, for me to get through them. Pavanard, Justin, Jota not starting. Someone shared a pick of the lineup. Be careful. We don't 100% know that that's true. Sidoff, I've just done that. Ayo, should I switch out Barnes because I have 0.5 million? Can get Richarlison. Should I switch out Sufat now? Just fucking leave it all be, mate. It's so late to the deadline. DJ Music Case, what's the news? Done it. Brendan Dowd. I've gone with Duffy, TAA, and Shaw in the back, and Gator in goal. Sidoff, mate, I can't deal with the repeat questions. Honestly, I can't deal with it. I really can't be bothered, mate. Once is enough. I will get to your question, but unfortunately, I probably won't ever get to it again now. Norwich Roundup. Zahara in my team. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Rory Moores, Harrison or Soufal? Harrison. Ayo, should I switch out Barnes because I have... No, stop this. Honestly, you've all been warned 100 times on this stream. I don't do repeat questions. You'll just get thrown out. I can't be bothered. Give other people the opportunity to have their question answered, please. Brendan Dowd, Duffy, I'd go with one Palace back on bench. If you decide for a bench boost, as Gator is known for clean sheets versus promotion teams. Okay, good luck with that. Just Nate, Barnes out, Grealish in. I don't have City assets. Neither do I, mate. Look at my team. Prashet says, should I put Smith Rowe for Rafinha? No, Rafinha. What? Matthew says, the team sheet says Milner and Henderson both starting, yet Milner captain. Suspect. That is very dubious. It's a good spot, Matthew. Jason still in. Barnes to Torres. Question. No. Leave it be, mate. That team sheet, if you want to have a look at it for yourself, the account is @Jones_Jonjo. If you want to have a look at that team sheet. I think that's a great point from Matthew on... I mean, if Henderson's playing, which he is in that team, Henderson would be captain. I feel fairly certain about. Arvid wants to end the stream by making everyone laugh. What about Gabriel Jesus? 1 minute to deadline, guys. Get your teams locked in. This is good, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. Any last minute dilemmas? Go, guys. While you're there, if you've been enjoying the stream, hit the like button, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. Or go to Let's Talk FPL and see if Andy's making any last minute transfers. Garang says, Mulpay versus Alexander Arnold, vice captain. Trent, mate. Although, if you've got Salah, there's a case to go Mulpay vice instead, just in case the game gets abandoned or something. Brendan Dowd, I've had to use free hit because of 2 Arsenal players in my team. We'll then have 2 free transfers next week, so I can drop them both. First thing, Brendan, it's not how a free hit works. You use a free hit, you only get 1 transfer next week. And 2, you should not be using a free hit just because you've got 2 Arsenal players. Man, oh man. Wish you luck, mate. Prashit says, Smith Rowe on my bench. Hope it works out. Adam Gearin, yes, James. Classmate, top work. Good luck this season. Thank you. Bryce Sutcliffe, no match officials on that lie. Very true. There is no match officials on that team. As I said, I'm not comfortable with it. I don't think it's good. Good spot, Brie. Jack Tasker, nah, you won't get 2 frees if you're using free hit this week. Exactly. Patrick Lawson, I'd be absolutely shocked if that league team is real. Agree. I think the good points raised about Henderson and the match officials, very true. Keith does gaming. Hello, I took out Jota for Ben Rama. Good choice. We've done it, mate. Doesn't really matter now. No, listen. Don't put that comment in the chat. Listen, it's very sad that Fabinho's lost his dad, and that's the most important thing, mate. I believe deadline gone. Jaffet, Bamford or Tony? Bamford, Garang. We can have different captains each day. In Sky, you can, yeah. I believe that's deadline gone, guys. As far as I'm concerned, you are done. I'll make it 1 minute past 11 now, personally. Thanks very much for all the questioners. This is the bit where I normally say sorry to anyone I didn't get to, but I fucking got to all of you. Ben Gale says deadline has arrived. Good luck to everyone. Okay, I'm only going to hang around for about 10-15 minutes this week. If anyone's got any non-FPL questions, hit them in the chat. Now, while we do, I can say about a couple of things coming up on Planet FPL. So game week review coming up on Monday of game week 2. We're going to keep them to Mondays this season. And obviously West Ham Leicester is Monday night, but that will come out for you on Monday. Delighted to say that the first review, season 5, episode 5, has already been the most downloaded Planet FPL audio podcast in our history already. So really pleased. Thank you for everybody who's supported the content and downloaded, or obviously if you watched on YouTube as well, thank you in just the same way. Tuesday will be a People's Poll. I don't know topics yet. Wednesday will be Sky Fantasy. Thursday's Clash of the Correspondents will be FPL Pringle and 3-5 Who, Manchester City versus Arsenal. Next Friday, Ask James stream again around about 3 o'clock UK time, and the deadline stream will be same time next week. Deadline is the same time in game week 3. On Patreon this week, our intermediate tier and above podcast will be a Q&A on Monday. Tuesday, to be confirmed, not decided yet. Wednesday, Tottenham. For the patrons, we're going to move Tottenham to Wednesday. I'll explain why for you in the coming days. Thursday will be a quiz. Friday will be our game week 3 preview. And for the advanced tier videos, there's videos from me every day this week, which will include a closer look at Leicester City and something with them tactically on Thursday. Right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Rhinos leads. It's fake, James. The guy has tried it before with City. Okay, well, let's just permanently mute that guy then. It was 2 suspects. Doesn't mean he's not right, by the way, but yeah. That's always the danger of this last minute shit, is someone will try it. And particularly with a team like Liverpool playing the early kickoff, there's going to be stuff that goes around. I don't believe it. But it is highly probable that Firmino could come in for Jota anyway. As I said right at the start of the stream, that's what the Anfield Watch have predicted. So it would be a surprise. To be honest, I was quite happy with the idea of Shimikas missing out, because I know I've got Ricardo Pereira coming in and most won't be blessed to be in that comfortable of a position. Thank you, Keith Does Gaming. Ben Gale, deadline has arrived. Good luck, everyone. Owen Walsh, good luck. Fucks, Pavanar, all the best, everyone. Brendan Dowd, Hour could be added to fantasy within 2 weeks. Will he choose Arsenal or Spurs? He'll probably choose to stay where he is, mate. Adam Tessiman, I can't see him going to Arsenal now they've got Odegaard in, to be very honest. Adam Tessiman, curious, mate, what would happen to the deadline stream if Tottenham were playing in the early kickoff at home? Would Suj stand in? Quite simply, there would be no deadline stream. Simple as that. To be honest, if we're at home and I'm going, I can just about do it. If it's a Friday night, that's dubious. So I might have to leave early or something. If it's a Saturday and we're playing 12:30, I would probably 11 o'clock, bang, out the door. I'm gone. So stream would finish and I'd go out the door. There is a small possibility that there might not be a deadline stream in game week 4 because Tottenham are at Crystal Palace in the early kickoff, and I might go. I think I probably won't, but I might. And if I'm going to Palace, there will not be a deadline stream. So in that case, what I would probably do is nothing. No, I'd either do something a little bit earlier to answer your questions or do something the night before is the most likely. But there is a small possibility that there might not be a deadline stream. I'm not going to get from here to Crystal Palace in an hour and a half. So if I decide to go to Selhurst Park, there won't be a deadline stream. I do intend to go to a lot more Tottenham away games this season. So quite simply, if it clashes with Tottenham, sorry guys, that is my priority and it always will be. Anurag says, here to just drop... If I'd let Suj do it, there'd be no one the week after, would there? Everyone would be gone. Anurag says, here just to drop a customary hello. Have a great weekend. And to you, Anurag. Z says... Kyogo Furiashi looks a player, doesn't he? Interested to see how this season goes for him. Yes, I've brought him into my Scottish fantasy team this week, mate. Garang Pedence, I regret having Reece James. It's happening now, mate, isn't it? Stephen Hutton, good luck, boys and girls. Ben M, where do you realistically see Spurs finishing this season? If we can play like we played against Man City last week, consistently trouble the big teams, and put away the inferior teams, in theory, then I think we could finish 5th. I think anything higher than that's completely unrealistic. I think we're probably in competition with Leicester, Arsenal, West Ham, and Leeds if they keep everyone fit, and Aston Villa if they gel quickly enough for those places around about 5th, 6th, 7th. I would be surprised if Tottenham finished any lower than 7th. I think 6th is the mean there, and that's a realistic prediction. Garang says, thank you, Tom. You did brilliant work in there, mate. Garang says, do you think United can maintain the level they had against Leeds? Yeah, why not? But they will play differently against other teams. Stephen Hutton, good luck, boys and girls. Ben Emwood done that. Mushia says, hey, James, do you think Spurs are going to neglect that Conference League after losing the first game in Portugal and focus entirely on the league? No, I think we can expect a stronger lineup on Thursday. I think there will be a want from above Nuno Espirito Santo to get through to the knockout stage. It's not ideal, but obviously, look, even a 2-1 win or a 3-2 win, we don't go out on away goals because it's gone now. That would go to extra time. So still be fairly confident that Tottenham will go through. If we go out, then fuck it, we've gone out really early. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. As far says, how do you think West Ham will set up when Europa League fixtures come? Back 5 or back 4 will be concerned for Antonio. Well, on our Tottenham podcast this week, we looked at the depth of West Ham's squad, and we came to the conclusion if everyone could stay fit, the depth actually isn't as bad as we think it is. It's a big drop off from the first 11 to what's below, but what's below would probably be good enough to negotiate a Europa League group stage. So I don't think any major changes from that perspective. Jack Tasker, that team sheet also spells Allison with 1 S. Thank you, Jack. Birth Media, Lewandil from South Africa here. How is Brighton and Palace a derby? We've done this one. It's not a derby, it's a rivalry, is what we would call it. They hate each other because they had an argument in the 1970s. Google it. You'll be bored afterwards. Shadrach says, no changes, team locked. Asan, what's your thoughts on UEFA Men's Player of the Year top 3 shortlist? Not going to lie, mate, I haven't even seen it, but if it's anyone other than Lionel Messi, it's wrong. Keith does gaming. Do you think Varane and Sancho will start? In my opinion, no. I don't think there's a need to rush them. John MacArthur, hey James, with Antonio's cheese-string issues, Europe and the Reggae Boys playing catch-up games, is he a no-go after the Sky overhaul? Do we definitely know that he's playing for Jamaica? I don't know if that's factual yet or not. I guess we'll find out this week. Tobias says, Schmeichel or Sanchez? Well, the answer would have been Sanchez, but the deadline's gone, mate. Brendan Dowd, below Arsenal if Kane leaves, above Arsenal if he stays. That's in reference to Tottenham, I presume. I just think without Kane, Son will get an injury at some point mid-season. You could say that about anybody, couldn't you? Lloris could get injured. Romero could get injured. Dele Alli could get injured. Any Arsenal player could get injured. We're going to predict injuries now, are we? G. Shet III, Bielsa says Bamford is one of the best strikers in English football. How good is he? A little bit beneath that. Atul says, hey James, what did you think of Vieira last week? I missed the game. I presume you're referring to Crystal Palace and what I thought of them. I don't think we can judge them at Chelsea. I didn't watch all of the game, I'll be very honest with you. So we judge them more on what happens this week, I think. That was always going to be the more important game than playing Brentford. So probably get a little bit more clues this week. Don't judge on a team getting well beat at Chelsea. Jerry says, Morris and Harrison to Son and Norgard. What? Norgard? Fuck me. Or Morris and Harrison to Son and St. Maximin. Thanks, mate. Jerry, the deadline's gone. And I think I was just a bit sick in my mouth when you asked that question as well, mate. Leave it be, mate. Look at Sonny again next week. Right, that's it. I think questions done. So we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks as ever. If you're on your way out of the stream, please give the stream a thumbs up. Subscribe to Planet FPL on YouTube, Spotify, all that other jazz. I've been through the content. That's it. Let's go and watch the football. I wish you all the very best of luck for Game Week 2. Main podcast Game Week 2 review will be out hopefully lunchtime-ish or late afternoon. Certainly in the afternoon on Monday. Have a great weekend. Hope your arrows are green. Be nice to each other. Ciao for now.